When we get information in WHO, we get information in numbers. This many people died or this many people had been infected. We don't see the numbers. We see the individuals behind the numbers. The mother of somebody, the father of somebody, the daughter of somebody, and the son of somebody, or the grandfather of someone.
Welcome to the second edition of The Lives They Lived, a platform we've established to honor and pay tribute to the people who have died from COVID-19. Inspired by the words of the head of the World Health Organization, as you just heard, who reminded us that the statistics we hear every day are not just numbers. They are the lives of people close to us. This becomes even more poignant when one considers the most recent numbers. South Africa has a record number of infections over a 24-hour period, with 10,853 new infections, with 3,026 people losing their lives. I want to get straight into the heart of the matter now. And if you are still one of those who think that COVID-19 is something out there, something far away, you're mistaken. Just ask our next guest, an Eastern Cape resident who is mourning the loss of her parents. Sipokazi Siyazi joins us now live. Sipokazi, welcome. How are you handling the loss of your mother?
Because so that she's going, but it's how life is there.
We believe that you are not happy at the manner in which she died. Please tell us more.
Oh, okay. Umama ulele isibhedlela. Isilapha kufuphi nalapha ekhaya eGansana. And then after lalisiwe ulele a week. Then safonela ugqirha athi baba somthatha because of icorona ekhoyo akakwazi ukulala more than a week esibhedlela. Baphuma ke engekho right at all. But we understand ile nto yabo indlela yabo benza ngayo ngenxa corona. Wabe ene check up the following month, that is uJune lo asoleke ngayo on the 23rd. So isaphinde sabele esibhedlela sachaza no lo muntu lona imkhophulayo is not okay. Useyenzela yonke into and then sacela impela im-admit kodwa no makalinde i-date yakhe check up. So salinda ke lo June lewo 23rd wahamba asiya ku-check up engekho right. Bathela bembona no, she's not okay. Ugqirha wam-admitha bathi no uzawulaliswa because she's not okay. And then this time around ebengasafinish i-pains at all because we've been trying to maka-admitha but bathi akho nto banoyenza. Balaliswa ke on the 23rd. Bear in mind because isibhedlela alaliswa kuyo on the 23rd ibisi-strike. Umama simshiye esibhedlela sokuthiwa into bangaba no akazukwazi uzobona okanye or anything because of ilenge corona. So once you phone if ikhona into eyenzekileyo sathi okay it's fine walaliswa simshenile in-napkin ehamba nje ebhedini. It was 55 and it was something ebhedayo because there were no blankets, nanto nayo yonxiba. She was naked only with in-napkin and there was no one to assist us. So into bangaba masinxibise into or something vele bamshiya phaya bahamba bathi sistrike.
It must be, yeah, I hear you. It must be so difficult knowing that you were desperate for your mother to be admitted, and this is the challenges, as you say, you went through. How are you planning to take this forward? Have you approached any authorities to complain about this?
Yes, after ilanduka death mama, I went there. I told the doctor that I'm not happy. Yes, mhlawumbe mama ebezasweleka but then it's hard to accept the fact that she's gone because of the situation called naphayana because akahoyanga at all. Mhlawumbe if besincedile bam-assist mhlawumbe ngekhona namhlanje. We understand the fact that ogqirha abagcini bombambo ayiqhamekanga kubo loo nto but because of imnene bebethuthe ngayo izigulane ebesizibona apha because we were there. We are not happy at all.
Yeah.
Bathi bacela uxolo because in most yabantu abaninzi baluzile ubomi babo phayana esibhedlela. Uthe ugqirha ebendithetha naye phayana nyandithi each and every time ndisiza kule G5 akho gqirha akho nto ndifuna ndifunde ebhodini into umama uleliswe kwaroom number mna ndikhangele ndedwa. There's no one endombuza kuyo to assist me with the information kamamam. and then you're sick. You cannot do anything.
Yeah.
You understand? And
yes.
bear in mind, something that hurts me most is that Mama on the 24th that my mom is dead. Mama is like a years old. Or 50 numbers in the morning because of how much my shift was in that. So in the morning, who can't go Mama so like him, so later on. They have 6 to 7. In the Mama was like a years old. That means some Mama can't get because of the Shangalo. She was dead in the 23rd. You know what I've been born there. On the 24th later on. So and I'm so very, I don't want to lie, I'm hurt.
So Sipokazi, if I understand you correctly, you only learned the next day that your mother has passed on?
Yes, late. It was to 7.
Look, losing a parent is so difficult on its own, but just listening to what you say you went through in terms of these allegations that you put forward involving the medical personnel, I just can't imagine what you're going through. But I want to learn more about your mum, Sipokazi. Tell us a bit more about her.
My mum was a very nice person, and then she was on treatment, high blood pressure. And what we thought as a family is Ambulala because she was diagnosed in 2013 that she was HIV positive. We thought it was something that would take her life. But she was strong because whenever you take treatment, you get a right.
Yeah.
Until the mama I especially because of we thought it was the answer, we don't know. Then that's okay, I'm lying. So my mom had the right until the Abu yesterday. What Payana was special, I got treatment right. We are going to if we are cool, but some kind of something medication because Bayana we are at all.
Yeah.
So it was something now when I was not the season, it paid like a party. I couldn't see there's no ends of the full back. Because there's no second chance in life. So no wonder if there's a cool Kasmuela especially for as a Pumalandon, when you're about Fundele land, it's in a Fundelanga in the bank of Peace. So you know the Kasmuela, even though you're complaining, but then we had that hope for that. We can put up in the man because about I took a note about the and what is right for the patient. But then unfortunately, this second time around, it is so like a prayer. And then I check up. I said, I couldn't do a but
yeah. And you say your mum didn't want to go to the hospital. She was afraid to go to a hospital. Look, I hope, Sipokazi, that you get the answers that you seek. There's so many unknowns when we talk generally about COVID-19. And I think as Ben Franklin once said, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And we grieve with you, Sipokazi, and your family, and may you draw strength from the beautiful memories that you shared with your loved one. No doubt it is etched in your mind and will provide a measure of solace during this difficult time. I know you're looking for answers, but know that I guess those memories that you shared with your mum will come to the fore and help you during this difficult time. Thank you very much indeed for sharing your story. God bless, be well.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for the interview.
Thank you very much indeed for your time as well. That was Sipokazi there sharing some painful stories with regards to the death of her parent. Well, they are hailed as frontline heroes in the fight against COVID-19. Health workers are putting their lives at risk in the line of duty daily. The toll on their families is huge, as Hazel Friedman found out in Cape Town.
She used to carry his bag like this, always, even at home. Yes.
Bitter-sweet reflections on a life devoted to duty. Nurse Ntombizakiti Ngidi lived for her work, but she never thought she would pay the highest price, and in such an agonizing way.
She called me, she was at work. She called me, she told me she's not well. No, I just said, no, go on and wake up tomorrow, go and see the doctor.
Ngidi worked as a nurse at Tygerberg Hospital in Cape Town, where she was one of the first frontline workers in the early days of COVID-19. Born in the rural area of Ntwalumi in KwaZulu-Natal, the 49-year-old single mother was the sole breadwinner of her extended family.
Since when my father died, Zakiti was the only one was feeding us.
On Monday, the 27th of April, she mentioned to colleagues that she wasn't feeling well. That Friday, she tested for COVID-19. By the time she received her results the following Monday, she was already desperately ill.
On Sunday, I tried to call her. When I called her, I didn't like hear her voice, but she was trying to speak, but I didn't hear her voice. Sound like
The following day, she was rushed to the Melamed Private Hospital in Bellville and admitted to intensive care. 2 days later, on the 7th of May, she passed away, leaving behind her brother, an ailing mother, an adult son, and 6 grandchildren.
Phew. I didn't even know what to do. I was scared to tell my mother. I called my family members, other family members, for them to come and tell my mom and my family, because I wasn't able to do that.
Nurse Ngidi was the second nurse to die from the virus and the first from Tygerberg Hospital during a time when there were a mere 11 coronavirus deaths and just over 500 infections in the country. Now, there are close to 125,000 cases with 2,340 deaths, the overwhelming majority in the Western Cape. To date, over 1,600 healthcare workers have contracted the virus in South Africa, and 26 have died, making the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty. Ngidi's journey will form part of a larger investigation by SABC3's special assignment into the plight of healthcare workers during COVID-19. Hazel Friedman, SABC News, Cape Town.
As we continue to pay tribute to those who are affected and infected by the pandemic caused by COVID-19, we are now joined by actor and radiographer Mlamli Manglela, who is not only mourning his brother whom he lost to COVID-19, but is himself recovering from the disease. Mlamli, a very good afternoon to you. Thank you very much indeed for your time. I wonder if you can hear. I think we'll just have to fix up that sound. Mlamli, if you can hear. First things first. How are you feeling?
Okay, I can hear you. Okay. Good afternoon, and good afternoon to you, and good afternoon to SABC viewers at home.
How are you feeling, sir? I'm
a bit exhausted. I have to say it was quite a journey. My body is exhausted. I get tired quite regularly. So, but work in progress. I'm recovering very well.
It's good to hear. It's good to have you strong, and you're looking good. But you didn't look so good. I saw this video with you with an oxygen mask where you were describing how you were trying to get comfortable, your sleeping positions. We have that video. Let me just play it so that the viewer can get a sense of what you were going through.
It's now 22 in the morning, and I'm cold, but I'm not gonna take long. I just finished my breathing technique. I finished it. I just changed now from the sleeping pattern. I was sleeping at sleeping on my tummy for the past 2 hours. Sleep with my tummy down and normally put pillows. The pillows that I put on my chest, and then also on my head to support my head. But now it's a bit tiring. But the fight goes on. The fight goes on. I'm still in oxygen.
You said the fight goes on, Mlamli, lying there at about 2 o'clock in the morning, battling to breathe. You said the fight goes on, but at that time, did you feel like you were losing the fight?
Not at all, because it all starts in the mind, what you tell yourself, and also I think what kept me going was the fact that I've got kids that were waiting for me, and I promised that I'm going to be coming back home. And the fact that I understood exactly what was going on. So I was on anticoagulant drug that will actually avoid me having to go to a stage whereby I develop embolus. And then also I was using quite a lot of vitamin C, and also I think it's the drug, the South African drug that we are using. So I was quite confident of the public sector, I must say. I have to applaud the work that was done by the public sector. During that time, all was on my mind was that I have to do it not only for me, but also for those who are coming behind me. So it was a struggle.
I was listening.
It was a struggle.
Yeah. I was listening, Mlamli, to a doctor from the United States saying that they were measuring things right now in terms of people who live and people who die, and they don't have the luxury of looking at recovery and looking at improving the lives of people after this disease at this stage. Do you worry about that? Do you worry about the unknowns in terms of life after COVID?
We have to find a way of destigmatizing it, because there is quite a lot of stigma around COVID-19. If I can tell you, there is definitely no drug for HIV/AIDS. There is no drug for coronavirus. But let me applaud our public sector, because I was in the public hospital, in terms of dealing with the signs and symptoms of the virus. I developed pneumonia, double pneumonia, bilateral pneumonia, and they dealt with it decisively. So, for the stigma around corona, we should find a way of destigmatizing it and making sure that there is awareness. I mean, I was in Kukuletu just before this interview. Life goes on as if nothing happened, and I was really weeping for the sake of those who are actually up on the street as if nothing is happening.
Yeah. So on one hand, you were dealing with COVID, and then on the other hand, you also lost someone due to COVID. I can only imagine, what you went through, what you're going through currently, and this must be one of the worst periods of your life.
It leaves a bittersweet memory, in the sense that 100% okay. It leaves a bittersweet memory because 100% in terms of my brother's death, I definitely blame the emergency system. At the end of the day, 100% from my recovery, I also applaud the public sector. For my brother, it was the ambulance system. We called the ambulance services, and it took them an hour to get there. When they got there, they actually stayed in the vehicle for more than 30 minutes. Then to tell us that they didn't have PPE to go inside the house. They left for another hour, came back after 30 minutes to only tell us that they are going to actually give my brother's daughter a mask to put on to his father. And how can an untrained personnel medically go and actually put a mask on her father and not oxygen? So we told them that this lady was not trained medically. So they went inside the house, after they put on their PPE after an hour. When they got inside the room, they came back requesting for a torch because they wanted to check their eyes and everything.
Right.
So we said, we don't have the torch. You should have the systems in place. So we offered a phone for them to check with the phone, but this phone was not going to be adequate enough. So what they did was to go back to the room again. Then 30 minutes later, they decided to go back to the ambulance and got oxygen.
Yeah.
Then later on, 20 minutes, we were told that he was gone. So for me, it leaves a bittersweet memory in the sense that from my own personal experience, I have seen the public sector. I applaud them for the job well done in terms of my life. But really, in terms of my brother, he was not lucky as I am. I think the ambulance services play God. And also the entire system, they actually played God. I'm not saying he would have been alive, but at least an opportunity for life was presented. But the ambulance system really failed us.
Our heart goes out to you and your family, Mlamli, and I guess the pain of the pandemic is so real when you hear the words coming out of your mouth and what you experience. I only hope that you can find some solace in the beautiful memories that you shared with your loved one. Thank you very much indeed for coming on and sharing your story. Be well.
Thank you. I always say the greatest partnership and the ruthless partnership and the senseless partnership of our time is COVID-19 and the spirit of Ubuntu. This is the new normal. Everything that is abnormal, it is normal. So let us just embrace it. Let us fight as a nation. It is the new normal. It is in town and it's not going anywhere.
Yep, we need to stick together. Thank you very much indeed, sir. Be well. All right, that was Mlamli Mangpala. He's an actor as well as a radiographer. They're sharing his story. As we've come to know, COVID-19 spares no soul, rich, famous, or even just ordinary people like you and me. Among those who have succumbed to the pandemic is the widow of the soccer great Patrick Ace Ntsoelengoe. To pay tribute to Tato is her brother, Itumeleng. Itumeleng, thank you very much indeed for coming on.
Hello, yes, thank you for calling us in.
Yeah, our condolences to you and the family. How are you coping with the loss?
Yeah, hey, we all have to be strong. It's so sudden, quick, and everything must happen so fast. As you know, all the regulations requires us. Otherwise, we are...
Was Tato buried today? I understand Tato was buried today.
No, that's totally false. I saw other social media posts that she was buried in Randfontein, and that's not correct. Today we had a require mass for her,
right?
But she'll only be buried tomorrow. Yes, we were live on her Facebook page directly for other people who can't attend to be able to see her proceeding. As you know, the lockdown requirements and the pandemic requires us to be no more than 50.
Right.
So yes, we did have a mass at her house in North Table, Krugersdorp. And yes, tomorrow morning she will be buried. We are expecting her to drive past from the morgue, drive past here at the house and go to the cemeteries in Sterkfontein, just around the corner in North Devon.
We have beautiful pictures that we're showing currently on air. Tell us about this lady that we're looking at.
Yeah, she was a very tough lady, well-spirited, like loving mother, loving sister, community helping, like, I don't know, she has done them all. I don't know what to say. She hasn't done to help whoever surrounding her. And really, she's leaving behind two beautiful daughters. Obviously, her parents also, and us siblings, It's Neo and Mpo.
Yeah.
We are the siblings to her. And Offense and Bipilo, they had 2 beautiful daughters. And her mother and father who are affectionately known as Jigs Koleng.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Agnes, her mother.
You know, just very briefly, I know we got to go. We're fast running out of time. But what do you say to people? I guess this feature affords us an opportunity to recognize the pain and hurt that people are going through. What do you tell people who don't take this virus seriously currently?
Yeah, I must say it's a tragic to the world, not only to South Africans or people around Gauteng or whichever province in South Africa. It's a tragic to the world to those who are ignorant towards this virus. We know it's a silent a killer that doesn't choose any social standing, it doesn't choose color, race, or any religion or whatever. Yeah. It cuts across. And unfortunately, for as long as we don't know how it gets transmitted and when and how it gets spread, really we all need to take this serious and keep our social distancing and do our precautions as taught by washing hands, sanitizing, and putting on masks and staying home safely in small numbers wherever you are forced to get gatherings.
And really, people can just remember it with the 3 W's: wash your hands, wear a mask, and watch your physical distance. That's what we have at the stage, you know, in the absence of a vaccine or proper therapeutic medication to treat COVID-19. But we thank you very much indeed, Ntumeleng, for coming on and sharing your views and your thoughts and your memories with regards to Tato. Be well.
Thank you very much.
All right. We must be guarded with regards to fatigue or forbearance in terms of, you know, tolerance, risking for others, being your brother's keeper, so to speak, protecting yourself as well as protecting others. The lives they live affords us an opportunity to recognize the people that were lost due to COVID-19. It's important indeed to remember them. That's all the time we have on the agenda. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. The news continues. I'm going to hand it over to Flo Letwaba. Have yourself a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.